Hello everyone. This is a supplement to my previous lecture on the use of iron supplementation. In this lecture, we'll understand how much iron dosing you need for an iron deficient patient. Welcome to ICU Physiology Insights. On this channel, we discuss pathophysiology, mechanisms, and evidence in medicine. In the previous lecture, we learned that it takes about 1 to 2 weeks for hemoglobin levels to rise after starting iron supplementation in anemic patient. Of course, there are other factors such as prior gastric surgery, gastric pH, vitamin C intake, and other undiagnosed GI problems that can slow the rates. And this rise can be delayed further under inflammatory conditions as iron absorption is poor due to hepcidin lock. So even if the enterocytes can absorb PO iron via intraluminal surface, they cannot release it into the blood. The big question is, how much iron do you need to give your patient with iron deficiency anemia? Iron is stored in human body in form of ferritin to the amount of 1.5 grams, and in its active form as hemoglobin, the total amount used is around 2.5 grams. So when dosing iron, you're not only calculating how much iron is needed for hemoglobin rise, but also thinking about replenishing the stores. So let's examine how much iron do you need to increase hemoglobin by 1 gram per dl. Since 1 gram of hemoglobin has 3.4 milligrams of elemental iron, 1 gram per dl of hemoglobin will contain about 170 milligram of iron. We simply multiply the iron present in 1 gram per dl by total vascular volume of blood, which is about 5 liters. Note that I have used 10 gram per liter to make the units same. We'll round this 170 to 150 for easy memorization. Therefore, you need around 150 milligrams of elemental iron absorption to increase hemoglobin by 1 gram per dl. Therefore, if your patient hemoglobin is around 10 gram per dl and you want the hemoglobin to be 14, you will need around 600 milligram of elemental iron to raise this hemoglobin. In patients who have issues with oral iron absorption, IV iron is used. Iron sucrose is most commonly used. Now, you don't give all this iron in a single sitting, but spread it out with at least 2 to 3 days gap between the infusions. Why? This was because of elevated levels of non-transferrin bound iron with IV iron infusions, and this can cause some complications, which we have discussed in earlier lectures. So you need around 2 to 3 doses of IV iron spread out over a few days to get to your 600 milligram of elemental iron. This is the average cost of IV iron. The cost of IV iron sucrose runs about $500. However, if your patient can use GI tract, this would be a preferred route. To understand how much oral supplementation your patient needs, you have to understand how much PO iron is absorbed. Daily loss of iron is about 1 to 2 milligrams daily via exfoliation of skin and intestinal mucosa. So you need to absorb about same amount, 1 to 2 milligram daily, to keep up with homeostasis. In a normal diet, there is about 10 to 15 milligrams of iron, of which around 10% is absorbed. However, this number depends upon type of iron in the supplementation and food. The absorption of iron is about 10 to 20% with heme iron, but only 1 to 5% for non-heme iron. Heme iron, as we know, uses a separate transporter for iron transport. Vegetarians therefore have lower fraction of iron absorption than meat eaters. So on an average, we'll assume that about 5 to 10% will be absorbed. But note that other factors such as prior gastric surgeries, gastric pH, vitamin C intake, and other undiagnosed GI problems can make the results highly variable. The absorption also varies across different age, gender, and countries due to food habits. And this is possibly the main reason for differences in hemoglobin rise in various studies. Females require higher amount of iron as they undergo menstruation and pregnancy. Now, iron sulfate is the most commonly used oral iron formulation. Each tablet of 325 milligrams has 60 milligrams of elemental iron. Traditionally, you give 3 tablets a day, so you are giving around 180 milligrams of elemental iron, of which about 5 to 10% will be absorbed, and this comes to be about absorption of 10 milligram per day. Thus, in a month, patient will absorb roughly around 300 milligrams of iron, raising your hemoglobin by about 2 gram per dl. Now note that we have assumed that around 10 milligram per day is absorbed. However, if your patient has other factors associated with it, like chronic blood loss such as menstruation, you would likely need longer duration of therapy. And this is because of additional daily requirements which will be added to this number. However, you do not only want to correct the hemoglobin levels, but also want to replenish the stores, which is about around 1500 milligrams. So assuming 10 milligram per day absorption, it will take around 4 to 6 months to replete the stores. Again, this depends upon the rate of absorption of iron, but most societies will recommend giving at least another 3 months of iron supplementation once your hemoglobin corrects. Now, you would have thought that this was a straightforward question, but as often happens in medicine, these numbers are based on assumptions. So the rise may not be as straightforward as you may think. Now, there are certain nuances here which we'll talk next. First, oral iron has quite a lot of side effects, mostly nausea and metallic taste. Therefore, researchers examined alternate day dosing and found that these side effects were much lower without compromising the hemoglobin levels by a lot. This was the latest meta-analysis in 2025, consisting of 11 randomized trials involving 1,000 participants, and they found that there was only a small, statistically non-significant increase in hemoglobin with daily dosing over alternate day dosing. Secondary outcomes like level of serum iron, ferritin, transferrin saturation, and MCV change were also not very different. The adverse effects were also similar between the groups, though metallic taste was more frequent with daily dosing. So the authors concluded that both daily and alternate day oral iron supplementation were pretty comparable in treating iron deficiency anemia, though alternate day dosing shows better tolerability. Similar findings were reported in another systemic review in 2024. They found that there was no significant increase in hemoglobin level between the two dosing regimens. However, the frequency of adverse effect, especially nausea and metallic taste, were reduced with alternate day dosing. So most societies have best practice statements on this, and they recommend prescribing alternate day regimen over the daily regimen. This is an excellent critique looking at various guidelines, meta-analysis, and 3 new trials since 2025. I would encourage you to read this article. The links are in description below. So let's look at some real-world numbers. This study can give you a rough idea about total iron absorption. Here, the fractional absorption of iron is higher with alternate day, but you can see that the total amount of iron absorbed is still higher with consecutive days. And this is because consecutive days trigger higher hepcidin levels, which reduces fraction of iron absorbed. However, this difference settles down once iron stores are full. Note that in this case, the daily absorption is around 20 to 30 milligrams per day with 200 milligrams of supplementation on alternate days, which is much higher than our assumption of 10 milligram per day. Since the hepcidin response is weaker with morning doses compared to afternoon or evening doses, morning doses are preferred. This study found that taking iron dose in the morning with vitamin C results in 4-fold increase in iron absorption and provides around 20 milligrams more iron per dose when iron is given with vitamin C. However, taking iron with breakfast or coffee reduces the absorption. The fact that vitamin C and low gastric pH are essential for non-heme iron absorption has been known for a quite long time. This is a classical study back in 1980s looking at absorption of non-heme iron with vitamin C and gastric pH and reported much better iron absorption with vitamin C and lower gastric pH. To summarize, it takes a few weeks before a rise in hemoglobin is observed with iron supplementation, so only check hemoglobin after a month of treatment. When giving iron, alternate day regimen is better tolerated with similar rate of rise in hemoglobin. 150 milligrams of absorbed iron increases hemoglobin by about 1 gram per dl, and always consider replenishing the iron stores, which amounts to about 1500 milligrams. Addition of vitamin C to oral iron supplementation helps improve absorption. So prescribe oral iron with a glass of orange juice in the morning and ask them to take empty stomach, and avoid gastric acid suppressants. Hope this was useful. Thank you.